In 2003, I was up to my ears in debt. In 2007, I was debt free. And in this video, I'm going to share with you one of the books that helped make it happen. Walk with me. Listen, I'm Billy Miller, the motivational minister, and I've read hundreds of books. And I love books so much that I dedicated this whole channel to sharing with you the many books that have impacted my life. And in this particular Billy Reed's book recommendation, book review, we're going to talk about this book here called Good Debt, Bad Debt by John Hanson. I'm going to put it up on the screen right here. Good Debt, Bad Debt. This book is filled with so many gems, so many nuggets. And listen, if you're interested in learning more about the book, the link is in the description of this video. Listen, I can't wait to get into it. Listen, don't be like Earl. Who was Earl? Earl is the guy who said, man, you talk about reading a book. Man, listen, by the time I get home from work and eat and get settled and drink a couple beers and watch Netflix and play a bunch of games on my phone, man, I don't have time to study. I don't have time to read a book. And in the words of Jim Rohn would say, no wonder he's broke. Listen, don't be like Earl. Listen, you're going to need to learn how to get out of debt. Listen, when I was in debt, I struggled. But one of the things that helped me was me learning different principles, read a lot of books. I watched a lot of videos, cassette tapes. That dates me right there. You remember cassette tapes? On what? On how to get out of debt. And I applied the principles and I got out of debt. And not only did I get out of debt, listen, I stayed out of debt. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and look at one of these gems out of this book here that he wrote in here. Look at this quote right here. He says, are you getting any rest being broke? For the most part, being poor is more tiring than treading the path to wealth. And the path to wealth is less depressing. Listen, take a screenshot of that. Listen, you don't want to go through the process of learning. Well, I think Robert Kiyosaki said a lot of people think getting wealth is boring. It's okay. But listen, it's less frustrating, it's less depressing than just being broke and staying broken and repeating the same process of being broke. Listen, I'm a person who likes debt-free living, and I believe that you are too. So whether you're debt-free or trying to get out of debt, I want you to comment in the comment section, debt-free. Let me know what kind of crowd I got. If you believe in debt-free living, I want you to comment debt-free in the comment section. And so listen, like I said, we're talking about this book, Good Debt, Bad Debt. And so some of you may be asking, well, what is good debt? Well, let me put the definition on the screen up here. And this is what they mean by good debt. Good debt is borrowing money for assets or investments that build wealth. This will be considered good debt. Good debt is a borrowing money that increase your income or provide a long-term financial growth. So, for example, let me give you some examples here. Examples of good debt. Mortgage. Mortgage is a good debt because it's an asset. You know, I got out of debt in 2007, and I stayed out of debt. And then I stayed out of debt until 2000 and what was it, 2015, I believe. In 2015, I had bought a car, and I was intended to pay it for it in cash, but I didn't have enough cash to purchase the car. But I had majority of the cash. I only needed $5,000 more, and so I got an auto loan for $5,000 and paid it off in less than a year. And then I was debt free from then on too. And I continued to stay out of debt, right? And until I recently bought a house last year. So that's a mortgage, that's an asset. Some people say, well, that's not considered debt. That's considered, good debt. It's still money I owe, but a good example, like I said, is real estate investing. As a matter of fact, did I put it up here already? Yeah. put it up there again. So mortgages, business loans, debt it's acquiring debt that's going to cause you to get more income. That would be considered good debt. Even student loans can be considered good debt. It varies, but long as it's going to pay off in the end, that degree helped you to land a job that you couldn't get without the degree, and that income from that degree pay for your loan. In that situation, we'll consider that good debt. Also, I would even say credit cards can be a good debt, that get points. But you got to be careful with this though, because you're going to have to be very disciplined to use a credit card that get points, because it's easy to get caught up into the bad debt. So let me give you an example. I have two Chase credit cards that I only use to get points, but I only use it if I have money to pay for it. So in other words, I have the cash. I'm about to buy this product, right? I have the cash in hand, but instead of using that cash to buy the product, I'll use my Chase card so I can get the points. And then I usually take that same cash that I was going to pay for it and pay for the credit card. You get what I'm saying? And so therefore I never have a balance. As a matter of fact, let me put those two, let me put it up on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Uh-oh. There it is. So these are my two accounts here. I had to blur out my account numbers. But notice the balance is zero. So I keep that at zero. I pay it, and then I'll pay it off. I charge it, but then I'll pay it off. But it's acquiring me more cash, because those points I can redeem for cash. I can redeem for, I use it on Amazon. I can use these different things, hotel stays, airline. So it's in other words, I'm using debt that's going to give me more income. Anything that does that is going to be considered good debt. But let me just warn you again: if you're going to do the credit card, be disciplined, because that same card, one time I had some car issues, and I had to use my credit card because I had this interruption, this sudden crisis, so to speak, and I had a lot of car issues, so I had to charge my card. But then I didn't have the money to pay it off like I normally do. And that's the only reason I used the card, because I didn't have the money on hand to use it, but I used it like a traditional card. But that balance carried over to the next month, which means I got interest. That is considered bad debt. It came in handy, but that's considered bad debt. So be careful with using that. As a matter of fact, let me put this quote in here that John Hanson wrote up here. He said, carrying credit cards is like carrying a concealed weapon. In responsible hands, they benefit the owner, but in the hands of the foolish, they are deadly. And credit cards are just what he said. If you got control, if you got wisdom, if you got discipline, it'll work in your favor. But if you don't learn this lesson, it's gonna, you might need to cut that credit cards up. One of the concepts that I love in this book, he wrote, is about was something called burn rate. Burn rate. Let me put the definition up here. Burn rate is the actual money you spend, waste, or lose a month to stay in the same place, right? And it continues to say all the money spent that does not increase your wealth. Take a screenshot of this. So this includes money that's necessary, because you may say, well, Billy, I need this. I got to pay light bill. I got to buy food. I got to get clothes. I got to feed my children. Yes, that's fine. That's all money. That's the money that you have to spend, but it's still considered your burn rate. It's your expenses. Are you following me? It's this money, though necessary, though you need it to live, you can't use it to build your wealth. You can't use it to invest. Are you following me? That's money that you need to, and it's important. We got that, but it's still in the category of burn rate. Also, it says money that you waste. Money that you waste with and also money that you lose. You might lose some money. You do nothing with that, right? You can't build wealth with money you lose, right? You go into the gambling casino and lost all that money. You can't use that to build wealth, right? I know you thought you was trying to, but you lost it. But also money that you waste. Money that you waste. We're gonna get into that in a minute. But money that you waste is money that you spend that you don't have to spend. All this unnecessary buying, all this unnecessary purchasing, impulse spending. Oh man, look at this right here. No matter what you make, it is how much you have left over after expenses or burn rate that matters. Take a screenshot of that. In other words, what he's saying is it don't matter how much money you make. Oh man, if I can only make 60,000 a year, if only I can make $100,000 a year, it don't matter how much money you make. It's how much money you can keep. Because what is your burn rate? Your burn rate is burning through your expenses. It's burning through your money. It don't matter what you make. I don't care if you're making 30,000. I don't care if you're making. Are you following me? What is the amount? What is your burn rate? And you need to find that out. You need to write down a list of all your expenses, from the necessary expenses to the wasteful expenses. Maybe you're going to Starbucks every morning. That's a wasteful expense. But buying food for your family, that's a needful expense. But regardless, manage your money. See where every dollar is going. Oh, you got it? Like an employee. You work at a job. Can you imagine you at a job and there's no managers, there's no supervisors? You wouldn't know what half of them employees would be at. Some of you now, you do have some responsible employees, and hopefully you're one of them too. But you wouldn't even be able to fight. It'd be chaos doing anything they want. Well, likewise, that's how your money is. If you don't manage your money, you don't know where it's going. You don't know where all your money is going. It's just going all over the place doing what it wants to do, right? So write down a list of your expenses so you can give account for every dollar spent. And this is where you'll learn how much your burn rate is. And once you learn out your burn rate, you can find out, am I burning more than I have coming in? Are you getting? Are my expenses higher? I'm living above my mean. Are my expenses higher than the money I got coming in? Right? Look at this quote here. This quote is by Bob T. He says, if your outgo exceeds your income, then your upkeep becomes your downfall. See, your outgo, you get it? If your outgo, right, the money you spend, your burn rate, exceeds your income, the money you have coming in, then the way you're living is your downfall. Your burn rate is your downfall. You, instead of having more money at the end of the month, you got more month at the end of your money. Chew on that for a minute. And that's when the frustration comes. That's when you get tired. That's when you want to throw in the towel. That's when you want to quit. Listen, you can't quit now. We're going to learn today how to get out of debt. But listen, just to motivate you to not give up. Listen, I've been in debt. I've been stressed and bill collectors calling, just nerve wracking. I've been there. I've had 2 companies threaten to garnish my paycheck when I was in debt. Are you understanding what I'm saying? But I didn't give up. I didn't quit, and I did what was necessary to get out of debt. But listen, just to motivate you to never give up, I want to give you a free gift. It's a book called You Can't Quit Now. I wrote this book specifically designed to teach you and show you motivation to never, ever give up. Listen, I know it's hard, but listen, you'll get through this. And I want to help you. Listen, if you want this book, just comment book in the comment section, and I'm going to send it to you for free. Just comment book in the comment section, and it's yours. Because listen, we can't give up just because it's hard. We can't give up. Listen, I know it's hard being broke. I know it's hard being what it's like to not be able to do the things that you want to do, sometimes that you even need to do because of bills and bills and bills. And you're never seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. Listen, this is your light. Listen, this is your light. Listen, if you was stuck somewhere and it was pitch black, you'd be afraid. You'd be in a dark place. But if you saw just a little beam of light, it will produce hope, because wait a minute, there's a way out. Listen, This video is a light in a dark place. Listen, you can get out of debt, and not only can you get out of debt, but you can stay out of debt. And listen, we ain't worried about the past. But listen, I like this quote right here. This is a funny quote. This is from this book. He says, "The past is the past, unless, of course, you still owe for it." Take a screenshot of that. The past is the past. Yeah, you spent up all that money, used all them credit cards, and that was the past. Hey, maybe you even learned from it. Maybe right now you even learned from it. But guess what? You still owe for it. Look at this other quote he got. He said, "It's hard to move forward while paying backwards." It's hard to move forward while paying backwards. Oh man, listen. Like I said, that book I showed you. If you're watching this on TV, as a matter of fact, you can scan your QR code right there for that book too, or just click the link in the description of the video as well. But man, listen, you the past is the past unless you, of course, still owe for it, and it's hard to move forward. Wow, why you why you're paying back. Let me put that on the screen one more time. I'm sorry. That was just stuck to me. I just like his, I like wordplay. He said it's hard to move forward while paying backward. Did you get that? And if you get rid of the stuff that you owe from the past, if you get out of debt, right, you'll be able to move forward way more easier. So the question becomes, at this point, you may be saying, well, Billy, what do I need to do? Okay, I hear what you're saying. So how do I move forward from right now? How do I move forward from this day moving forward? What do I need to do? Well, that's what I'm about to share with you right now. Hey, I want to take this quick moment to tell you that not only do I love reading books, I also love writing them too. And I want you to check out the books that I wrote. I'm a #1 Amazon bestseller, and my books change lives. Just like the shirt says, I write books that change lives. You see them right here beside me. Listen, to find out more about it, look in the description of this video and find out more about how you can get the ebook or the paperback copy. Now let's get back to this powerful teaching. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you 3 simple things, 3 easy things you can do right now to move forward from right now, to begin your journey of debt-free living, to begin this path to wealth. All right. So let's look at number 1. Number 1 is you're going to find ways to lower your expenses. In other words, you need to decrease your burn rate, because your burn rate is just too much. Remember, I told you, it don't matter how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. And you can't keep no money because your burn rate is so high. So you're going to have to find ways to lower your burn rate. How do you lower your burn rate? One of the ways is, like I told you, write down your expenses, right? So you can see what your burn rate actually is. And you begin to trim the fat, right? You're going to have to find out, because of what you do, what a lot of people do, or where a lot of people fail at, is they have what's called impulse spending. Impulse spending, as a matter of fact, let me put it on the screen here. Impulse spending is the spontaneous, unplanned decision to purchase a product or service on the spur of the moment, driven more by emotion and desire for instant gratification. Take a screenshot of that. Because so many people, and listen, we all fall for it. I'm not saying, listen, I haven't mastered it myself, but I recognize it. You remember when the Popeyes chicken came out and that people lined up to get that chicken? That's called impulse spending, spontaneous spending. You might be in the mall and you see an offer and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I gotta have that. This thing is on sale. Can you see that? It was originally $100. Now it's 12. I'm about to get that. Come on now. Come on now, y'all. I see y'all at JCPenney. Come on now. I see y'all in the mall. Come on now. It's spontaneous and it was unplanned, right? And a lot of people fall victim for it because they wasn't managing their money. They wasn't controlling their finances. See, sometimes some of you need to go on a spending fast. That's another way to help. What's a spending fast? Spending fast is when you just go, you set a designated time, maybe a month, maybe 2 weeks, where you don't spend any unnecessary spending. Because of course you got to spend. I told you the expenses that you got to have. You got to live. You got to pay bills. But any time of that spending that you just going out and you eating out, and just spur of the moment stuff, right? And that's costing you. Impulse spending is costing you. And what it does is gives you a temporary satisfaction, but it's at the expense of your future. I want you to hear what I said, because a lot of people don't realize that. See, they think they're giving themselves pleasure now, man. I gotta have this now. I know I need this right now. It's on sale right now. And though it gives you temporary satisfaction, it's costing you your future, because you're gonna pay for it. Are you following what I'm saying? If I'm saying anything that makes sense, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Look at this quote right here, John Hanson. Like I said, man, listen, he got some nuggets in his book. I'm telling you. Listen, he says using bad debt to take the wanting. Sorry. In fact, hold on. Let me put this back up here. He says using bad debt to take the waiting out of wanting eventually leaves you wanting. You know, I love word plays. That's why I love this book. So you're trying to take the waiting out of want. You want it, but you don't want to wait for it. So you take the waiting out of wanting, and now in your future you're gonna end up wanting. Did you get that? Did you get that? It's costing you your future, man. I'm telling you this. Listen, he got some nuggets in this book. Let me see if I can see. Let me see if you can see. You see that blue highlight right there? See how that blue highlight? Let's see if I can do it. See that blue highlight? This is most definitely a book that you're going to mark up. Nothing but nuggets in here, nothing but gems, and it helped me to get out of debt. But what's the how do I oppose? How do I get control of impulse spending? It's something that's called delayed gratification. Let me put that on the screen. Delayed gratification. Take a screenshot of that. Delayed gratification is the ability to resist an immediate, smaller reward in favor of a larger, more valuable reward in the future. Are you getting it? It's you're making a future decision rather than a rash decision. Yes, you see it. Yes, it's desirable. You didn't plan to get this, and it's in your face. You see the offers. Oh man, it's a one of a time deal. Whew. But you make a decision. You say, you know what? I'm not going to get it because I'm thinking about my future. This is going to help my future. I know I can't see it now. I know I can't. I know it seems like I'm missing out, but it's adding to my future. Oh man, I hope you're getting this, man. I hope you're getting this. We still on number one. We still on find ways to lower your expenses. We got to figure out a way to lower your burn rate. You're gonna have to figure it out. You got to figure it out. All right, let's go to number two. Let's go to number two. You're gonna have to find ways to increase your income. You're gonna have to figure that out too. You might have to start a part-time business. You might have to sell a product. You might have to work a part-time job. Do what you got to do. Listen, I used to never be a fan of working two jobs, but you gotta, if you're ever going to work two jobs, you got to do it the right way. You know, that was a wrong way. If you're just working two jobs just to pay your bills, you're setting yourself up for a trap, because usually you live up to your expenses. Got it? Meaning whatever you get, that's how it's like you always barely making it. Well, now if you're working two jobs and your expenses is here by working two jobs, and now your income is here by working two jobs, but now your expenses has risen to that level. Now you done trapped yourself. Now you can't quit that extra job because you need it now to pay the bill. So if you ever get two jobs, make sure you get in control of that. Maybe I'll do a separate video on that because I don't want to make this video too long. But you're gonna have to figure out ways to increase your income and lower your burn rate. You get that? If you lower your burn rate, increase your income, now you're cooking with rice. And then the third thing you're going to do is find books on getting out of debt and wealth building. You need to find books that's going to help you to get out of debt. And listen, you can start with this book that we're doing the recommendation on. This book called Good Debt, Bad Debt. Like I said, this is a classic book to me. And get that book. But listen, there are other books. That's what I did. This isn't the only book I've read. This is one of the books I read, but it most definitely isn't. Hold on, let me get that off the screen so you can see that. But listen, if you want this book here, Good Debt, Bad Debt, listen, the link is in the description of this video. You can get it downloaded as an ebook. You can get the paperback copy, I think. You might even have a hardback copy available. I'm not sure, but I put all the forms, audiobook, all that. I listed below. If you decide to get the book, click one of my links. It is an affiliate link. I get a small commission, enough to buy me a Reese's peanut butter cup. That's my favorite. So if you decide to get the book, use my link. Or buy any other books on finances. Listen, that's the third step. You're going to have to find books that's going to help you to get out of debt. Like I read another book called The ABCs of Getting Out of Debt. I read several books on debt freedom and wealth building. As a matter of fact, you see this bookshelf behind me, that row right there is all books on finances and building wealth. And I got boxes of books as well. That's not even on that shelf on books on finances. I got ebooks on my phone or through my Amazon Kindle on wealth building. You're going to have to do the same. You're going to have to become a learner. All right. And listen, if you want, you might be saying, well, Billy, what are some good books to start with? Of course, I just showed you the book Good Debt, Bad Debt. But if you want to know about some other books that are good on wealth building, check out my playlist where I have books about money, right? I'm gonna put that playlist right here, and you just go through that playlist and find out what book you want to learn about and purchase that book. Listen, I love you. Stay up, stay blessed, and always remember that the word is your life.